welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals or semi-finales of the WardiTV Monday number 38. Ooh, it's been a bit of a shorter broadcast and a bit of a slimmer tournament, but we still have the quality nonetheless. We have the top players facing off here and now to determine who will play off against Hero in the grand finals. Let's go. We're jumping into our TVZ, and this morning in the top right hand corner of Leylines we have our South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner we have as opponent, we have the blue Terran player from South Korea representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. I do apologize for not having predictions open for Hero and Bjorn. It just started with a proxy, so I was just distracted. So I do apologize for that, but here we have the predictions for our semi-finals. Let's go. We have our fresh TVZ, and we'll see how they do approach each other here. I mentioned earlier how Classic and Rogue, they were facing over the quarterfinals, and we expected that to be a longer one just because Rogue, he's known for his long game, he's known for his late game, I should say, for his macro play. That's where he thrives in the most, and I will stand by that, especially in this matchup as well. In ZvT, typically his goal is to get into a standard opener, into the mid game, into Lingbane Hydra, rush into Lurkers, slow the game down, and then get into Nidus play. That is where he does his best. We'll see if he can get there though, because that kind of style is a little bit map dependent. It is a little bit better on some of these longer, larger, more defensive maps as well. Leylines, I'm a little bit less certain of, especially given the recent history of Cure. Like Cure, he has been hyper aggressive. It's been crazy to see the change of Cure as a player over the past month. Coming into GSL season 1, like Cure, he just, I don't know what happened. But Cure, during the qualifiers leading into season 1, and of course into Dallas as well, of course, Cure, he's been hyper aggressive in every single matchup in TVT, TVZ, and TVP, more so than usual. Now, I will say that post Dallas, that has died down a little bit, at least, but still very much so what we're expecting out of Cure. So we'll see if that trend continues here. So far does dance with the links. So far so good. Behind this, going just for the racks, expand into factory, standard opener out of Cure, likewise Hatchcat's pool out of Rogue, going for his third base as well. Everything so far looking normal. There's no proxies, no cheese, no aggression, not yet. Not yet here. The Reaper is going to be eventually deflected as we do bust into the main. Again, just chipping away at the Lings. Should not really get any damage here. The drones should be safe. They should be okay. Secure. He does want one of those drones. He does get one. Yeah, one drone goes down. A massive pick-off already here from Cure. A nice start. Nice start for the Terran. Behind this, going for a third CC before Starport. Economic follow-up out of our Terran player. Into his 1-1-1. Now, referring to the aggressive nature of Cure and to how he's changed over time, we have seen a lot of ARAXs. We've seen a lot of ARAXs out of Cure in this matchup. We have seen a little more assertive and aggressive play from him, less so macro. That's what I was referring to when it comes to how aggressive he's been as of late. Same with his TVP. Like his TVP in GSL, he did nothing but all in. Like unironically, he never had a single standard game, just purely 2-base all in after 2-base all in after 2-base all in after 1-base proxy. Same with DreamHack Dallas as well. Like Cure, he's an animal. Like but again, I will say that post DreamHack Dallas, when it comes to the online tournaments, like he has kind of died down a little bit in terms of that aggression. He has eased it up. I think we saw one standard game the other day, which is crazy, during the EWC qualifiers. As we do see Rogue going there first. I was curious if he was going to open up Roach, and there it is. A Roach Horn has been thrown down, so this is a very safe way to open up. And we did mention earlier here that Rogue, he thrives in the late game, and Roaches are just a really good way to get you there, to open up safely, to secure yourself on 3 and then 4 bases, and to look to max out. Of course, we'll keep an eye on the 4th base of Rogue. We'll see if he drones or not. Otherwise, he could turn this into a more aggressive build. That is still going to be on the table for Rogue. It is going to be on the table. a cloak on the way. Double eBay behind this, getting into 1-1 upgrades, getting to his own 3-1-1 setup, getting up to 5 Raxes. So I mentioned earlier that Cure as of late has been doing nothing but all-ins. Right now we have a 5-rack setup, that's fine. But so far the trajectory does look like we might throw down another extra pair of Raxes. When I say pair, I mean 3 more. See if we get there. But now, Cure dancing with the army. Banshees, they do head towards the expansion. They're going to try to force cancel. No detection. Uh-oh. No overseer, no detection. The base taking a lot of hits, but Curie does not risk it. Does pull away. Fast infestation bit. This does make sense. If you recall, we did mention that Rogue, his own playstyle, does typically lead into fast hive. So infestation bit into fast hive. We might make some safety infestors in the process. But that is melee on the way, not range. This means it's looking more and more like Roach into Ultra. So it's looking like a Rogue is headed towards Ultra Tech. There's that Link Bane follow-up, of course, out of Roach Ravager. So the Roach Ravager was just an opener to get into a more melee-based composition. Meanwhile, Cure, he's backing up. Does back off. There's that Hive on the way, we did mention. Hive in production, and this should be for the Ultra Cavern. Meanwhile, Cure takes his gases, and a second factory he's macroing. He's macroing up, he's not going for an all-in. Factory is going to be denied. Ooh, that's going to be a cancel. Cancel on the factory. Likewise, Cure rotating over. Rotating over towards that northern base. Remember, he's not too committed here, so he's just poking forward. Same time, Rogue trying to catch reinforcements. No Ravagers, so that is going to make this a bit of an awkward defense. But there are those Infestors. Tank goes down, he gets 1, he gets 2. Nice fungal, very nice fungal. And with that, Rogue defends. Rogue, he holds, he does defend, he shuts down the army, and again, this is all just about defensive play initially, just to defend these bases, just to secure ourselves. Hive is now done. Show us that Ultra Cavern. There it is. Ultra Cavern's on the way. Again, once we saw the infestation bit, once we saw +1, it all led into Ultras. And this is a style that Shin was making use of quite a lot during DreamHack. If you recall, this is how Shin defeated Clem. As Shin was pretty heavily reliant on this style. Rogue watching Shin back, yeah. As behind this, Curie is expanding, getting his own 4th. Again, Curie is back to his old self. He's playing standard, which is what Rogue wants. Rogue, he wants to be up against a more standard player. That's where Rogue can thrive. Ultra upgrades are on the way. Rogue, he needs a little bit more time for the Ultra upgrades to really kick in, and then he can overwhelm. The real power here of the Ultras, because this is all so fast and all happening so quickly, the Terran player typically, as long as they don't scout, they won't have Ghosts. They won't have Ghosts, they won't have Liberators. Right now, Cure doesn't really have the best setup here against an Ultra-based army. He does have some tanks, which will help at least somewhat, but you can see how heavily Marine-focused he is. Like, it's pure Marine. No Marauders. Ghost Academy just now has begun. Scans does see at least some of the army. As Rogue is pulling away. Sitting in. Gets a queen. Rogue at the same time going for a Link Bane run by, and he does catch some reinforcements. And gets into the mineral line. SV's going to be going down. Banelings, they do connect into there. They do get in. Yeah, SVs are going to be falling. 11 and 12 SCV kills. 12 SCVs. Meanwhile, Cure, he raced back home. And Cure, has he noticed the tech yet? I mean, upon seeing the... There we go, now he knows. Now he does see the Ultras. Ghost production is yet to begin. 3-3s on the horizon here for Cure. And we have how many ultras so far? Just one. Okay, just one ultra. Rogue is not quite where he needs to be. Fungal does connect. Chain Fungal as well. That's Curious pushing in. Getting caught out by the Fungals. At the same time, nullling run by. Oh, but last doesn't quite get the surround he's looking for. Yeah, not worth it. Run by not as worth it here for Rogue. As the ultras are trying to collapse in, does take down one of the tanks. Gets one, gets two, nice Fungal. The tanks are going down. And can he get all of them? Barely not. Yeah, barely not enough. Reinforcements have arrived, and with that, Curie can keep pushing, he can keep going. Gets the expansion. Rogue just barely didn't have enough. And now Rogue is in trouble. He's got 5 ultras on the way, but he needs more time. Does need some time to build up. Sure. Rotates. Takes down the expansion. Does rotate around. Rogue is on 5 bases. For now. And Curie wants that northern base. Ghost production underway. He's getting to his ghost. He's getting there. Likewise, we have 7 ultras now for Rogue. That's a lot of ultras. That is a lot, actually. If this all comes together here, not so certain that Secure can hold. Now, going for an ultra run by. Does hit the southern base. Good, does go for the planetary. At the same time, collapsing on the main army. Oof. Yeah, late reaction by Cure. And he will bleed out so many Marines. It does take some massive swipes to the face. The army crumbles. The base goes down as well. Curie doesn't lose many SCVs at least. He does preserve his worker count, but the army plummets. As that was 5 tanks going down for 1 ultra. For the base, does get the hatchery. Hatchery goes down. I mean, Rogue, he's hurting in his own way. Where, on the one hand, Rogue, he is able to take that army supply lead. He does get the better fight. At the same time, he's stuck on 4 bases. He needs a fit. He's double expanding. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but there is like a little bit of stuttering happening in game. So I'm probably going to change my VPN server. It's not as smooth as it should be. I do apologize. I will try to do that in time for game number 2. Things they do get into the middle line. 4 SCVs going down. And Berg is going to his night display. Spire is now done as well. No greater Spire yet. Just getting to +1. And Rogue, was able to take the fight earlier, but wasn't quite able to capitalize from there. Again, he was just focusing on re-expanding, resaturating. Bases are back up. Likewise, Cure's base is also back up and running. And we have a game. Let's see Cure getting ready for a mech transition. More factories are on the way. It's going to be 3 more factories in production. Ideally, when it comes to the late game, you do want Mech Ghost. Like, that is the ideal. Like, Tank, Thor, Liberator, Ghost. Assuming we're up against, like, Broodlord, Infestor. Not there yet. Curie's getting ready. Just walling up. Oh, we're gonna be here for a while. We're gonna let's go. Once again, we're slowly building up that overseer count. Overseers are building up. I think there's only one Nidus. No, two. My apologies. Two Nidus worms. The purpose of two, of course, is you can get if there's something to focus on one of the Niduses and the other gets up and running. So there's a higher chance of pulling off the Nidus with a second worm. Overseer towards the natural, likewise overlooking on the south side as well. So we're cutting the map in half. We're spreading all the creep. Creep is spreading. Center tower is being thrown down. We do have changelings. You can see he's ready for the Nidus in the main. Speaking of, Nidus is in the main, and he's ready. I mean, again, he was ready for it. And he should deny bird. Again, Rogue has a reputation, and Kira clearly is aware of it as well. 15 more over, Jesus Christ. 15 more overseers on the way. Going into mass overseer. Let's go. Again, the purpose of the mass overseer is for a mass changeling, but also to obscure the ground army. Unironically, when it comes to, as we do have another Nidus, but let's get spotted. But unironically, when it comes to snipes, when it comes to the main engagements that do occur, because the overseers ideally cover the army like this, they kind of shroud them underneath them, and because of the way how ghosts work, they have to manually click on said units, and there's a higher chance of like misclicking or not being able to target the ultras or what you really want. Where it does rotate. Let's get nice into the main. Changelings that make their way in. And Rogi does commit. He does go for it. Snipes on the ultras. Ultras are going to be going down. Overseers are a little bit too late. So far, nice splits, but the planetary does fall. Oh, nice fungal though. Yeah, fungal does connect. Oh, catching out 3, 4, 5 ghosts. Very nice fungal. That's where it does pull back. At the same time, Nidus into the main. Snipes start popping up. See that one of the overseers did tank a snipe. Ultra got away. And that was good damage, sniping the expansion. We'll see if we can do that again. And if we can keep doing that. So good, nice into the natural. Not going to beat Rogue in the late game. Oh, well, this is where he's at his best, I would say. Like, Rogue, he's at his best in the late game. We have seen players like Clem and players like Beyond defeat him in the late game, but also lose to them in the late game. So, like, often do trade. Again, we'll see if Kira can be one of them as well. Still keeping up with the Nine Storms. Again, Kiri's intentionally leaving supply in his main and at his natural to defend against this sort of stuff. Nidus, once again, Thor responds. Nidus worms are being denied. And even though so far Kira is keeping up, the scary thing about this is that all it takes is one. So the Nidus worms, they should be continuing, and all it takes is one Nidus to get up, and then everything just can go south. So here we go. This one's once again. Ultra's moving in. Wants a planetary. He gets it. Planetary is going to get picked up. Nicely done. So it costs Rogue 1 Ultra. Meanwhile, Nidusworms are finishing, actually. We spoke about this. All it takes is one. Nidusworm into the main as well. Lings and Ultras are flooding in. There's not much at home to defend. Yeah, Curie's out in the open, or he's out on the map. Ultras are getting trapped here on some SimCity. Another Nidus into the main as well. And Rogi does collapse in. Nice fungal, catching out the Ghost. Curie, his attention getting pulled apart. Another tank falls. And you can just go back in and then unload into the main. And speaking of, this does feel a little bit late though. Yeah. A little bit too late. But now he does have some Zerglings inside those Nidusworms. Despite that good damage. Meanwhile, Cure trying to secure himself once again. They flood in. Bailey's pushing forward. Trading against mainly Hellbats. Going for the planetary though. And once again, another planetary falls. Takes down another planetary. Sorry, two planetaries even. Oh. Yeah, two planetaries go down. Nidusworms are continuing. Kira struggling economically. It's nice. Does get up at the third. Rogue not making use of it. Oh, going into Swarm Host. Okay. Interesting. I mean, that's a good way to deal with this tank line. Swarm Host coming in. Does get two tanks so far. And goes for the Ghost. Oh my god. Doesn't quite hit them. Yeah, not quite. Three tanks is still solid. Likewise, going for the Liberators as well. It does trade. Expensive losses here for Rogue. Now, what's a little bit scary here about what we just saw is that Rogue, he lost a bunch of Corruptors. He doesn't really have much of a bank. Both players are kind of struggling in that respect. They both have a mineral bank, that is true. So Rogue, he can keep making Zerglings, no problem. But the gas bank is quite limited here for Rogue, at least currently. It's one tank. That's two. Takes on two tanks. Frame rate kind of odd. It's not necessarily the frame rate. It's just in game. There's just like some stuttering going on. Like, I already said this, but after this game, I will be trying to change the node on the VPN. So you can see here the frame drops. It's just latency. It's latency, unfortunately. So we'll try to fix that after the game. As we do have that dive here on the tank once again, getting two more tanks, getting three tanks, four even. As again, you can see we need those gases. We're trying to claim them, as gas mining is still a little bit lackluster here. More Lurkers coming in. This is still value here for Rogue. Trading very efficiently, picking off some Hellbats, some Marauders. Bailey's rolling in as well. Oh my god. Not the best use of his gas. Gets the tank. Oh, Nidusworms, they continue. Oh, the Changeling wall. Do appreciate it. But Curious gaining ground. He's gaining ground. We saw earlier that again, North base use the Banelings. The base will fall. Gases are being denied. Curie does scan top left, and he wants it. He's rotating over towards top left. Soldiers, they move in on the right hand side, they take down a planetary. For a base as well though, so trading a base for a base. You can see Rogue, he still has no gas, by the way. He has so little gas. That may kill him. He's making Ducklings against Hellbats. Wait for another Nidus. This time it does finish. And Nidus does complete. Oh, well, never mind. But there are plenty of ghosts. Plenty of ghosts. So Curie defends. That does also mean there are no ghosts to deal with the ultras on the front lines. Spoke too soon. Plenty of them. 36 drones going down. Rogue, he will no longer have a bank to build up here. He's down to 28 workers. So for the time being, what you see is what you get. In terms of that bank. Curious taking a fresh expansion. Taking top left. So moving in. Ooh, forcing friendly fire. One volley went off. Rogue, he's maxing out. He's heavily reliant on these swarm hosts. He's got how many? He's got 21 swarm hosts and 9 ultras. Another expansion is going down. Rogue, he needs bottom right. Diving on the tanks. Didn't want getting two. Tanks going down. Again, I've been hyping a little on Rogue's gas, but really, I mean, Curious also hurting for gas as well. As he has a fresh geyser here, but he has to prioritize that one mineral patch. Here, por favor. Open up the patch. It's a high yield gas geyser pack. You're missing out. Nice cleanup. But of those secures, you can't actually create an assimilator on this gas geyser until you mine that patch. It's right next to it. It's a prerequisite for gaining that base. Cure. There we go, kind of. Tells Mule. Curious, almost mined. Almost. Oh, let's go. He can get the gas. Security doesn't lose anything. Just takes on the Lucas wave. From here, rotating over, he will get within range of this base, which is going to be crucial. Yeah, no mining. So nice rotation here by Cure. And again, the goal here for Cure should just be to rotate and deny these fringe bases. So he's denying top left, he should be denying the center base and bottom right as well. Runs in some banelings. But pushing into the bases, that's going to be difficult. That's going to be almost impossible without Rogue making a big mistake. But what he can do is take down the expansions. There we go, one tank, gets one tank. At the same time, Rogue pushing top left, but last is going to be shut down. Planetary does hold, center base goes down. Moving in. Oh, takes down one of the ultras. Takes down one of the ultras, there's two ultras left. Show us their snipes. They do pop off. Not quite. But a better fight for Cure. And there he pulls away. Cure needs to deny bottom right though. That expansion. Rotating towards the center. I mean, there's a lot of bases he has to deny. So he rotates to the center base to deny this. But he will abandon his tanks. Yeah, two tanks, they go down for free. Going for those northern bases. Does go for planetary. Planetary gets surrounded and will go down. Nicely done. So does that center expansion. But in Cure, what matters most here is that Rogue is still mining. At least for now. Cure's moving in. He wants the expansion. And he should get it. Locust Wave still needs more time. Ultra's moving in. Snipes, they don't quite connect, they get one. And they just get the one ultra. Still a very close fight here. The final ultra does fall. Here comes that Locust Wave. I guess spent early. Gets spent early. Getting a second tank. Just barely. That was two tank kills, and more importantly, Rogi saves the base. He barely saves the expansion. It's still mining. And we just morphed in a wave of Broodlords. Broodlords have arrived. So Broodlord Swarmhost. that's the army. Like Rogue, he might not have gas, but he doesn't need it. He's got 3 units back. Let's go. He's got the Broodlings and the Locusts. Let's go. Yeah, Broodlings thrown away. Locust Wave as well. Cure, he just doesn't really have the army to deal with this, not yet. He has to bring everything together. They're Vikings. Viking production just now begins. Ling Ramai, ooh, does get in as well. Yeah, this time there's no planetary. 17 SEVs. He gets this round. Oh, there goes. Oh my god. Guess what? Gets 2, 3, 4. 4 ghosts go down. Brutal losses for just Zerglings. Rogue, he is running out of his middle. I mean, both players are burning through their resources. But I have to of course respect this kind of army, right? The free army, the Stormhost and the Broodlords. Getting value, denying more bases. Again, Kree failed to rig this expansion, I think, twice now. Now it's pushing into Broodlords. Does it pull away? This is not Broodlord Infestor, it's Broodlord Swarmhost, so there's a little bit less potential with this army. That one Viking going ham. Base goes down. So because it's no infestors, it means that snipes are a bigger issue. There we go, Link Main rolling on forward, crashing into the tanks. Tank line is going down. But the Vikings, they're pushing in. But they're trying to at least. Yo, shout to the Overseer is tanking quite a lot. But there we go, GG gets called. He gets on top of the Broodlords. There is a zero answer to the Vikings, and with that cure, he breaks on through and he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Again, no corruptors, or I should say there was no gas to make any corruptors, so alas, no answer there. The Broodlords were called out, local save ran out. GG. Cure takes game 1. Oh, and 1 moment, I need to do something. Cure, he does take game number 1. I did just turn off my VPN. Hopefully that fixes the latency issues that were happening there. Let's see. This is either going to go well or go poorly. It's going to be one or the other. Oh boy. But here we go. We're going to be getting into game number 2. Going to be getting into Persephone. Let's go. I think infestors are required to play late game. They are in a sense. Basically, what infestors provide is support for the army. So in that kind of situation, they provide support when it comes to Vikings diving in, to fungal the Vikings, to zone them back. Same with ghosts as well. Infestors, they're designed to protect your broodlords. They're not designed to push into tank lines. I saw someone talking about they don't do anything against ghost tank. That's not true. But they're not designed to push into that kind of army. They're designed to stop that army from pushing into you. Sort of thing. They're more of like a deterrent, which forces the game to be even slower. Like that's where like that slower game state kind of like comes into play, as I'm sure you're well aware. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Team Falcons. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself, the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Of course, you can also be more proactive with infestors, with borrowed infestors. Players like Cyril and Dark show that off a little bit better when it comes to like being active with them, trying to catch out an army that's maybe overextending or being active on the map to set up for a better fight. That's typically with a bit of a more active Zerg army, like with Ultras. But GG, well played. It's kind of better, kind of. I don't know if you can see. We'll be okay. I'll connect to a different node later. Basically, every now and then there's like a stutter. You can see it. It's like every maybe like 30 seconds. It'll be okay. Regardless, Hatchgas will stand opening here out of Rogue. Meanwhile, Rags expand by Cure. But the Korean server isn't the most stable server, unfortunately. Especially from Australia. So usually we have to rely on VPNs. When I say we, I mean like, I guess like people from Australia, so like Pig or myself or others connecting to Korea. To get a smoother experience. But overall, I think overall this looks better than before. Overall looks better. Now, calming down. we go. But yeah, that was again a really chaotic game state towards the end. Like both players were broke. that was what was crazy about last game, is that both players were broke and they were both fighting over, of course, Rogue's only mining base. So for Rogue to lose it, I mean that's game. As he could not maintain any other expansion. Just couldn't hold on to them. Could not hold on. For now though, third CC, going into the third CC. Before starports. So economic follow-up, Intercloak Banshee. This is just a standard opener. This can lead into another standard game like we saw previously, or we could be more aggressive with this. So we'll keep an eye on the third base and we'll keep an eye on the gas saturation. Likewise, last game, Rogue did open Roach, if you recall. Did go for a Roach base opener into Roaches. Then that was more of like a stepping stone to go into Ling Bane. We expect that on smaller maps. I would expect that here on Persephone as well, but we'll see. We'll see if he plays Roaches again. Screens are keeping up. As Rogue is going Lair first. So Lair first once again. And I believe this was the timing where we would see tech here for our Zerg player. So waiting for our tech. Cloak, of course, on the way. Initial Banshee is deflected. No shot we're waiting for the Lair. No shot. If we're waiting this long, are we going Spire? I mean, short rushes and Spire Air, I suppose. Gases, yeah, gases are being taken. We're going into Mutas. Okay. I was like waiting. I was like, we should be seeing either a Baliness or a Roach one by now. It's like, nope, never mind. So there's the Lever Chamber walling up. All 6 gases have been taken, and we should be seeing our tech of choice. Where is it going to be? Ooh, not a Spire rushing into Infestation Pit. That's a very fast Infestation Pit. Okay. You have my attention. This isn't... We're not rushing into Swarm Host, are we? Right? Are we? I mean, last game, if you remember, it was Roaches into Ling Bane into Ultras. That was last game. But this is not the same build. Like, last game was a later Infestation Pit. This is really early. Banshees poke in, they get a drone. Show us what you got. Are you rushing into Hive? Are you rushing into Swarm Host? We saw range for a moment. Cancels, going into range. Sorry, going into melee. So melee, Overlord speed, yep. That is a 630 Hive. Like, fast Hives are at 7 minutes. This is at 630. Like, this is insanely fast. Okay. So 630 Hive timing. And this should now be for Ultra Tech. Now, can he survive that long? This is the question. Because everything else is delayed. Upgrades are delayed, Roach Horn's delayed, Roach Speed is delayed, Curious pushing in. Can Cure punish the greed of Rogue? Can we make it? Cure's moving in. Rogue, this is the army right now. We have 10 Roaches on the way. Queens are trying to hold their own. Curie's going in for the kill. Curie, he's like, where's your army? What's it? He's like, what's going on? It's still in production, Pappy. So it's still coming out. Oh, is it gonna be in time? Just barely. The Roaches, they come out just in time. Whew. Not the cleanest hold, but we hold. Okay. Okay. Hive finishes. Ooh, not an Ultra Cavern. Okay, wait. Okay, Baliness. That's fine. For a moment there, if you saw, there was a Hydrogen on the way, but he did cancel. Cure, he's rotating. Still traded well for himself. Vipers are on the way. We're still expecting that Ultra Cavern. For now, going into Vipers. Queen goes down. Nice catch. Rogue, he got away with it. Okay, there's that Ultra Cavern. We did delay a little bit. Basically, Rogue, he was a little bit scared that he would just die, so he goes Viper first, then into Ultras. So this isn't as early as it could have been, but early nonetheless. Like, this is still fast Ultras, like, very fast. This time he's going to have some Spellcaster support. Let's go. And again, so far, he's getting away with it. It was close when it came to the earlier push. And I mean, it's still terrifying. Curious pushing in. Behind this, Curious getting 3 more Raxes, but a 4th CC. So this is not a 3-way solo. This is not an 8 Rax. Bailing's being denied. Remember, there's no bailing speed. The slow Banes. Yeah, the base has to be evacuated. There's no saving this. Like, again, like, because of the insanely fast tech, Rogue is vulnerable right now. Can he get away with it? Cure, he's rallying. He's just rallying across the map. Clears up all the creep. Consolidating his forces. Ultras are on the way. Now, because these Ultras are so fast, no Kindness plating. Like the upgrades are limited. These are going to be 1-1 Ultras, no upgrades, like no Kindness plating, no Ultra speed. Not yet. So we're still getting there to that final form. Ooh, meanwhile, Cure dropping into the main. Leroy gets shut down. There's a spawn position. Cure doesn't care. Can he snipe the Ultra Cavern? No shot. He will. He will snipe the Ultra Cavern. We worked so hard for it. And the spawning pool as well. Brutal pickoffs. Here come the power bombs. Ooh, and we don't split the Medivacs. Oh my god, the Medivacs, everything goes down. That was an expensive trade here. Did get the spawning pool, did get the Ultra Cavern, but lost everything. Did lose the entirety of that drop. At the same time, ooh, the Ultras, they get some massive swipes off. Yeah, Curie does take it to the face. Abandons some of the tanks as well. Some messy engagements here out of Cure. Messy here in the main, likewise Messy on the right-hand side as well. Cure slipping up. But it does look like these 2 Ultras are the, sorry, 3 Ultras are the only Ultras we're going to get, because Rogue will switch into Hydra production. Into Lurker. So this is, again, this is a little bit messy when it comes to a setup. There's a lot going on here. One, the Banshee is doing damage. Cure, he has some time to breathe. He has some time to build himself back up. I say it's messy just because the initial plan was to rush into Ultras to invest into melee upgrades, but now we're hard switching out into Hydra, Lurker, Viper. But because of that, because we started initially planning to go Ultras, we have +2 melee, we have late +1 range. It's a chaotic setup here from Rogue. He's getting there, but yeah, like we're just now working on the Hydra upgrades as well. Like it's gonna take some time to get into the upgrades, to get into the Lurker upgrades as well. Because of that, there is a window. There's a window here where Rogue is I mean, there's been a big window this entire game where Rogue is vulnerable. Cure running his Ultras. So he speeds away. Banes they crash in. Cure pushing on the left hand side. Expanding on the right. And Rogue making use of those Ultras to harass. As again, Rogue can't really deal with this. Like he can't really like, as we mentioned, like Rogue's army is very messy right now. Like he can't handle this push. Lurker's now morphing in. I mean, if we let this happen, then Rogue he can hold. Like if Cure kept stimming, if he kept pushing, I think he breaks this location. But he backs off. He's playing it safe, which means Lurkers, they will finish. Okay, Rogue is holding on. Lurker range on the way. If Rogue can stabilize, I'm going to be very impressed. Like, he's getting there. Lings, oh, Ravager's gonna get thrown away. Lings, they run into the army. We're up to how many? We're up to 6 lurkers, getting up to 11. Okay. 11 lurkers, upgrades are about to finish. He's now having a more formidable army to work with. He will miss this rotation though. Oh, the might shots. Ooh, brutal connections. The Link Main is going to be shut down, but the lurkers, they get in position in time. And Rogue, he holds, he shuts us down once again. The power bombs. Oh god, he sends in the power bombs. Matter of fact, they barely get away. And Rogue, he's holding on. He's defending, building up more lurkers. He had 11, now he's getting up to 17. 17 lurkers. And now this is an army. And Cure behind this again, he took some really rough fights earlier. His own economy was a little bit lackluster. He needs a lot of time to rebuild actually. You can see he's switching into mass factory. He's walling up. Like, he's changing his approach at this point. The reason why his supply is stagnant at the moment is because he's trying to leave supply for his factory production. So it's just waiting for those factories. Lurkers are spotted. At least I believe he's trying to leave supply of his factories. Because I would hope that he would start spending his money soon. There we go, going to Master Liberator. Snipe zone away. Nidus, keeping Cure busy. He's just getting all the upgrades. So frames, high-tech auto tracking. Ooh, lurkers, they pop out. Once again, Cure. What's going on? So Chris is running away. So now we're getting back into tank production. And again, Rogue, now he has map control. Like, for the past couple of minutes here, he's now gained map control. He's gotten away with, like, it was a very chaotic and very shaky start for Rogue, I will say that. And he was vulnerable for quite some time, but now he's gotten out of it. Again, he's got his 17 lurkers. Punishing mineral lines. Once he has high ground vision. Rogue looking good. I mean, with Cure, he's getting to his own mass lib. Again, from here, we should be going Liberator, Tank, Ghost. That should be the composition of choice. There we go. Tank production has begun. He's got 15 Ghosts so far. Again, you don't want to overmake them. Like, you do want some support for your army. And we're just waiting for Cure to kind of get a handle on himself before he can start moving out. Meanwhile, 17 Overlords. We do see once again Rogue going to Mass Overseer. And at least currently, it's a very different dynamic than last game. Last game, it was Cure with map control, and Cure was the one rotating and knocking down bases. Because Cure has been a little bit late to getting into his own late game, it's been Rogue instead. That will soon change. Nice snipes out of Cure. Cure takes up right. The map is being cut in half. The one base that Rogue is missing is the gold. Like right now, Rogue, he has map control. He's keeping Cure contained. He should be rushing to this gold as quickly as possible, to mine as quickly as possible, so then when he loses this, like, he gets the most out of it. Ideally. So that's the one slip up here, is the lack of gold. Considering that he's been containing Cure. That's dangerous because now suddenly this could become a Terran base. Like once Cure breaks out. So yeah, now Rogue is going for it, but again, I feel like this could have been a little bit earlier. Like maybe 2-3 minutes ago. I'm concerned because if you notice, like now suddenly the Lurkers and the Night Storms are doing less damage. Like Cure now has a more refined composition. And which means he's soon gonna break out. He's soon gonna push. Meanwhile, caught unsieged. Yeah, it does get caught. Massive blinding clouds. Tanks they were stacked. And Rogue will take this fight. We'll try to chase. Doesn't quite get the ghost. Yeah, Curio's caught this pants down. Yeah, that was the exact moment that Rogue had to strike. Just as the army was unsieged. Whew, and that means, for now, this gold base is safe. The gold is safe. If you recall, like we were just about to start, or I should say, Kira was just about to start pushing, just about to start being more active, and now not anymore. Like he has to rebuild again. Does scan, does spot the gold, which means it's time to throw down the wall of turrets. It's time to, it's time to wall up. Time to wall up. Move in, takes down one of the tanks. Roki's breaking out. Now the gold base is saturated somewhat, but this is again only recent saturation. So there's still a lot of resources here. And again, I do feel like this was late. And Curious here to punish. Rogue Luna collapse in. Lattice across the map. Rogue's going for it. At last, Curious spread thin. Bailey's rolling forward. They head towards the mineral line and up. Oh, they didn't quite make it. Okay, they do not make it. With that Cure he holds, which means this base should go down at the same time, though, trading a base for a base. That is the finish. Curie gets the gold, but he will lose the planetary. Oh, never mind. Okay. Curie saves it. The liberation. It's a bit too good. That is into the natural. We can see Rogue setting up a Broodlord tech to get into Broodlord Infestor. Oof. Go away in time. This is where I'm a little bit concerned for Rogue. As I'm sure you're aware, when it comes to ZvT, ideally the Rogue player wants to be up in expansion, and right now he's not. Remember, because this base was late, Rogue, he never really took advantage of this position. Likewise, Cure still has another expansion here, a fresh base that he can take advantage of as well. Oh, but here comes Rogue. Comes from behind. Bailey's a crash into mainly a Thor. A lot of Bailey's go down, and we still have the Ghost left over. So far, the Lurkers are protected. Say that here comes that freedom, here comes liberation. Nice abductions. But there are just so many liberators. And Rogue, he cannot push through, has to pull away. That is into the main. Cure, he's racing over. He's racing back over as we speak. Likewise, Nine is towards right hand side. Within range of the planetary. This one will finish. Cure, he's late to respond. Does he have the scan? He does. Does have the scan. Ooh, does punish. And now Rogue's in danger here. Now Cure has the gold, and this should not have happened this quickly. So there's a lot of pressure on Rogue to break this. He's going for it. He has to. He's pushing in. He has mainly Hydra. Pushing into tank lines is not going to go well for him. Yeah, it's almost a purely Hydra army. Lurkers, they try to hold the line. There's like 3 lurkers. Hydra just step in. And hey, no tanks in position. And Curie's racing over. And the planetary is going to go down. Yeah, Curie was late to reposition. Hydra's a lunge in. Gets a ghost. Gets 1, gets 2. Rogue, he's pushing through. Tanks unsieged. He can do this. He can break through. They're stacked up. Tanks getting caught out. Oh my god. And Rogue, he barely doesn't have enough. But that was still a better trade for Rogue. He still reset all the tanks, and he got the base. Got the base, got 18 SCVs. Did pull it off. Again, Curie just wasn't set up. There were what, six tanks caught unsieged. See Rogue fighting for that gold. Link main is amassing. And once again, lunging forward. Once again, Curie not quite in position. There's nice snipes. Oh my god. We get some decent snipes, but last is just not enough support, not enough tanks. Yeah, not enough tanks or liberators. Cure, he just barely was not ready. Hydra's a lunge in. Oh. Cure does force a Rogue back. Still very close. Rogue still has a bank. He has a bank. He's still building up, going for the CC. So Rogue, he's down to 2 Vipers. 2 Vipers, he doesn't really have any Lurkers, only 3. It's mainly Ling Bane Hydra as the army. And this can trade well out in the open. As we've seen, like time and time again, he just keeps catching Cure as Cure is reinforcing. Like as Cure is not properly set up. But now Cure is walling. Now he's walling up. But Rogue is max. Now Rogue doesn't know how little Cure has to work with right now. Otherwise now would be the time to strike. Rogue taking it slow. Fighting for that gold. Moving in. Oh, the drones! Oh, that's Cure. He does break through. Thankfully, there's some lurkers. Lurkers in position. Likewise, we just see Rogue just diving in. Breaks through the main army. Bailings, they do find some good connections on the ghosts. And not enough tanks. Yeah, not enough tanks. Hydras, they're pushing through. The mass Hydra, he does it! He breaks the defensive line. And Cure just cannot build up his tank counts. The gold base now getting back up and running, now in favor of Rogue. They've been fighting back and forth with this. Rogue, he controls it now. And Cure, he still has an economy, but he will need at least a hand side. He needs at least that base. It's just so far in the open. it's just so isolated. So difficult to defend, I mean. Spores are on the way. Oof. Once again, the Cure, he just runs into lurkers. And Verg, I think he has done it. See, we're not complicating things. No Brood Lords, no Lurkers, no Ultras, just sheer Lingbane Hydra. Oh. He's tempted. Leads with the Vipers. There we go, it does commit in. Once again, just collapsing into those tanks. Once again, 3 tanks on siege. Nice Lightning Clouds. And it looks like he will break through and takes down all the tanks, chasing down the Ghost as well. They try to split. Some of them do survive, hold out everything else. Azurki cleaned up all the tanks. Cure, he's trying to go for that left-hand base. Does need it, but he just barely has an army anymore. It's too late to claim this, I feel. Like at this kind of game state, it's going to be so difficult to defend. In doing so, that means he just gives up on the gold. Like the gold base now in favor of Rogue. Rogue setting up. How many Zerglings have died? 686 Zerglings. Let's go. That's a lot of Zerglings. Unfortunately, I don't think we can afford many more. We're building back up. Once again, limited SimCity here. Yeah, Vergi just collapses in. Goes to the Lightning Clouds. And with that, he will break through the siege line once again. Takes down 2, 3, 4. Takes down almost every tank. There's still a bio army left over. Shout out to those 3 lurkers. They've been there for a while. Yeah, and he does it. He has done it. Takes down all the Marines. Takes down the final Liberator as well. Oof. And that's the remaining army. 1 tank and 3 goes. Ooh, down to 2. Reinforcements trickling in. Cure. Can he hold on? Can he save the base? Can he hold? Oh my god, does pull the boys, takes out all the lings. 1 lurker left. No shot Cure, he's holding. He saves the base, barely loses any SCVs. Again, it's just such a low economic game state here. So basically, this is the only real mining base for Rogue, but it's mining out. The gold, I mean, he has bottom left, also mining out. And Cure has a fresh mining base. It's completely untouched. Meanwhile, 4 lurkers so far. Getting to 6. 6 lurkers. Rogue, he's running out of gas. He never took the gases here on the right-hand side, by the way. Never took those gases. Oh, does duck. Doesn't quite get any of the ghosts. These abductions not quite worth it. Oh, with the pickup! Oh my god. I didn't know you could do that. He denies the abduction. Let's go. Este Cure. With our Vipers out of energy. Rogue down to 5 lurkers, 4 Vipers. The Overseers are stacked. Slowly building up that lurker count. Oh, nice deductions. You're going for the nuke. Going for the nuke of the army. Does he notice? Okay, he does. Does notice. Jesus. Whew. Thank God. Meanwhile, throughout all this, one drop, 15 drone kills. Remember we spoke about that one mining base? It's now gone. Yeah, Rogue out of position. The base goes down. No more mining. This is it. He's down to 2 patches. 2 patches left. He has another. Oh, he has like 100 minerals. No. 120 minerals here. Nothing here. There's still some patches here and there. A couple of patches scattered around. But again, fresh base. That's what's important. Fresh base for Cure. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Cure. Tank bullet going up. Oh, do we have a scan? Little abductions. There's a scan. Scan on the lurkers. Snipes holding up. Oof. Brutal pickups. Getting 1, 2, 3. Getting up to 4 lurkers. Again, there aren't that many. It's running out of money. Again, there's like maybe like 200 minerals left over, at most. Otherwise, Curie's got this. Again, he saved this base for the end of the game, and it worked. Curie just going for some fringe bases. I mean, they don't really matter too much. Not the most important. True, there are these patch. This one patch here as well. There's 10 minerals. Like every little bit counts. As long as this is mining. Okay, as long as this is mining. Mining as much as he can. Again, brutal snipes. Curie's army is just getting larger. But the long distance mining, let's go. He actually has an economy. Somewhat. The best economy. But something. He can produce like a couple of units. As here we go, he commits. Yeah, there's a scan. Likewise breaks through the lurker line. There's the second scan as well. And with that Cure, he has done it. He breaks through that. Oh, guys, say that. Oh my god, the lurker shots. Still quite close, but GG gets called. Yeah, he has too much. He has mining. He has an economy. GG gets called, and Cure, he will take the series 2-0. Whew, he will advance on to the grand finals. GG. Hi, GG, well played. Congratulations here, Cure. He will take a very, very intense game 2 here. Could have gone either way for quite some time. There was just so much fighting for the goal base as well. There were some rough moments for Cure, I would say. Rogue had some very fortunate moments towards the end where he was able to catch the army unsieged multiple times when it came to those big main fights. But I'm just impressed that Rogue made it to the late game, considering how chaotic the beginning was. Remember, Rogue, he went for a, was it a 630 hive? He went for a 630 hive, rushing into ultras. And then the Ultra Cavern got sniped. And the spawning pool got sniped. And then he had to like switch into like Hydra Lurker. It was like an awkward switch. He almost died like multiple times before that. He honestly could have died before that if Cure was a little bit more assertive. Like he didn't know just how vulnerable Rogue was. Like the first 10 minutes of that game. Like it was a shaky first 10 minutes. But then he got into his lurkers and then he was able to gain map control. We had more of it back and forth. He stabilized. I will say that it did take quite some time to actually take advantage of some of those bases, unfortunately for Rogue, but he took some really good fights, and then we had our back and forth. GG, well played, very, very intense. Whew. And with that, congratulations, Cure. He will claim the series, and we are making our way to the grand final. It's going to be a best of 5 between Cure and Hero. It is going to be a GSL Final Season 1 rematch with Hero and Cure facing off once again in the finals. Let's go. That was crazy. GG, well played. Gotcha. Cure played really well. He did. Cure, he did a really good job, like, persisting, of course, finding damage where he could, 100%. I was a little bit concerned that he was a little bit late to claim his base on left-hand side, but I do think that was probably probably the best moment for it, outside of taking it earlier, just because my concern was in taking that base, he shifted the entire focus of his army over towards the left-hand side, which means he could no longer punish the gold. But the gold was already mining out, so it didn't really matter as much. Like contesting the gold base wasn't that important anymore by the time Cure was taking the base on the left-hand side, so it was fine. It's fine for him to alleviate that pressure and to send it over instead. And GG. GG, well played.